Hello and welcome to another episode of the Organic Adventure Show. I am your host, Cy Rodriguez, as many of you know, and today we're going to talk about the benefits and dangers of sunscreen. Many of you have used sunscreen for long periods of time and have believed that it was all good. Many of you know that some are better than others, and some of you really don't know what to think. I want to just tell you, first of all, that I almost never use sunscreen. If I was to look at the last 10 years of my life, for example, I probably used sunscreen 3-4 times maximum. And I have been with people who have lathered sunscreen on and been in the same environment as they were and watched a lot of them burn far more than me. And sometimes I got a little bit of a burn. And because of that, I want to make this clear that I can't take responsibility for your skin wrinkling and for damages done by the sun if you choose to take this information into your own hands and use it in a way that's harmful to you. So the first thing to know in this conversation is that if you are exposed to the sun to the point where you burn your skin, you're going to do some sort of damage. And that's just a fact, and we can't avoid that. So I want to be upfront about that so that you can take responsibility for yourself and know what you need to do to protect yourself. I have not got burned too much, and the first reason I would attribute that to is that I eat a high antioxidant diet, and there are numerous studies that support eating a high antioxidant diet. Some say it takes about 30 days of eating an antioxidant-rich diet in order to build up some of that protection from the sun. And that just means that you can be in the sun longer without getting burned because your body's going to be more resistant to it. That doesn't mean that you can just go out in the sun all day long in the middle of the day and not get burned. Now, from almost every article that I have read, all of the chemical-based sunscreens have some kind of negative associated with them. And that means that they get absorbed into your skin and into your body, and many of them are hormonal disruptors. Some of them cause or have the ability to create cancer in your body. And because of that, I would just avoid most of the sunscreens that are chemical-based. And there is an alternative to that, and that are the zinc and the titanium dioxide, which are mineral-based types of sunscreens. And if you are using those, they should look pretty white when you put them on. And the reason you want them to look white is because there are zinc and titanium-based mineral sunscreens that are not white when you put them on, and people like that because they look better. The problem with that is that there's something called nanoparticles, and those nanoparticles are very tiny particles, and they actually get absorbed into your skin through your pores, and they disrupt certain cells in your body, and they can cause damage as well. So unfortunately, if you want to wear the mineral-based sunscreens, you need to look for the ones that are not nano-based particles. Now, I know that Alba Botanicals, or Alba Botanica, who I don't get paid to represent, they make some sunscreens, and that is one of the sunscreens that I've used before, and I know that the one that I've used is a very white sunscreen. Most of their ingredients are organic. You're going to have to talk with them to find out if they use nanoparticles or not, because a lot of companies have switched to that. Zinc and titanium dioxide being the one that I have found to be the very best as long as it is not a nanoparticle. The best line of defense for your information that I have found are what I am wearing right now, for example, and so I'm just going to show you. I'm wearing a very thin shirt, very lightweight, and you can see it covers my whole upper body, and I'm wearing some pants, long pants, very, very lightweight material, easy to move around in, super comfortable, and this is my sun protection, along with this. This is my #1 sun protection outside of using an antioxidant-rich diet. I'm going to give a little support to what I'm saying by giving you an article or giving you a site that cites studies about how antioxidants give you protection from being burned by the sun. Another way to get antioxidants is to be grounded. So that means if you're barefoot on the earth or in the grass, for example, you're getting free antioxidants coming up through your body from the earth. So that can give you some protection from the sun as well. And let's just look a little bit at what some of the articles that I have read today say. And one of the things is, after reviewing the evidence, EWG determined that mineral sunscreens have the best safety profile of today's choices. So that just is to back up the zinc and the titanium as being the safest of the sunscreens to use. And then ultrafine particles of anatase, a form of titanium dioxide, which are less than 0.1 microns, are pathogenic or disease-causing. So that's the reason, one of the reasons not to use the nanoparticle mineral sunscreens. And coarse or fine particles of titanium dioxide are safe and effective at deflecting and absorbing UV light, protecting the skin, but consumers should avoid using products with micronized mineral pigments. So it's just saying that the coarser ones, the ones that turn your skin white for the most part, are the ones that are safe of the mineral-based supplements. And the best sunscreen is an internal sunscreen built with nutrition. Eat chlorella, spirulina, goji berries, raspberries, blackberries, blueberries, astaxanthin, carrots, and nutrient-rich superfoods to boost your skin's natural UV protection. It takes about 30 days of nutrition to boost skin levels. So do your own research. Don't take my word for it. Definitely take responsibility for your own self when it comes to being out in the sun. And remember that if you are in the sun and you don't use sunscreen, then you absorb more vitamin D. But the key to that is you don't want to wash your skin for at least 48 hours with soap. You can take a shower as long as you don't soap up those parts of your body, because the reason is that your body takes about 48 hours to manufacture vitamin D from your skin after being exposed to the sun. So that's one way to boost your vitamin D levels along with supplementing. And of course, this also tells you the other side. If you're using sunscreen on a regular basis, then you are blocking out the vitamin D production that comes from that is being made or manufactured from your exposure to the sun. And not having vitamin D in your diet can lead to a number of health problems. So you have to look at the facts to see if you really want to be using sunscreen or not. Please sign up for my e-reports at www.cyrodriguez.com and read my book, Health Beyond Diet Dogmas, or Sexy Fit Part 1, to find out lots of other ways that you can benefit your overall health, and Sexy Fit Part 2, which is an exercise program that I put together and used, and it works very good and saves you time and money. You don't need a gym to do it, and there's some stuff in there that I haven't seen in any other exercise programs I think that you'll benefit from. And I just lowered the price on them. You can check them out at my site under the Sexy Fit link at cyrodriguez.com. Thank you again for watching. May every day be an adventure in health.